How do you view your performance on a race or competition after you're done? Well, today I'm going to show you how I go ahead and break down races. For this one, I'm going to be doing my performance at the New York Marathon and just basically go through my thought process here and how I use that information to improve and get better for future races. So let's get it. So the two metrics that I'm going to be focused on today are my mile pace and my heart rate. Heart rate I relate to the rate of perceived effort, which I think is a better way to gauge it, but your heart rate is a pretty good indicator of where your perceived effort is. So I do think is a very helpful metric to use. So the data I'm looking at are going to come from Strava and the New York Roadrunners Marathon website. And for the splits that I'm looking at right now, if I'm going through, I can see that my split times, you're pretty much in the 7s, or some of them are going into the high 6s, up until about mile 14. At 13, I see a jump, and then mile 14, I see a big jump, and then really big at 15. And you can see the pace just continuously slows down. And if I look at what the New York Marathon website has, you can see that my average pace stays around 6:58. I don't think that's completely accurate because I know mile 1 was not a 6:58. Although actually they don't even say it. So around 3 miles is where they're starting to get that average pace here. And it stays consistent up until the half marathon point. And then at mile 14, you start to up a little bit of an uptick. And then mile 15, you see that first big jump. And when I go back to the race, that's when I cramped. For me, when I'm looking at these race metrics here, you can see that my race pace goes down. I am getting worse and worse as the race goes on. Once I had cramped hard, it was really hard for me to completely get back to 100%. Mentally, it brought me down. And I think I switched to like, hey, this isn't about getting the time I wanted, but just finishing. And then eventually all right, I need to finish at least 4 hours. I would have been so disappointed if I didn't finish in less than 4 hours. And that's more of the expectation I set on myself, coming with at least a 3 hour and 10 minute time that I wanted to beat. And then during the race, I'm going to try to break sub 3. And yeah, let's even play that clip real fast of what happened. Just passing the 10K point. I decided around mile 4 that, fuck it, I'm going to try to break 3 hours. Because I'm going to regret it if I don't at least give it a shot. And if I bust, I bust, but at least I know I gave it my best effort. We'll push. The most important thing, my hydration strategy was not good enough. I cramped, and typically that comes from dehydration. Before the race had started, I actually had drinking 5 liquid IVs because I was trying to sodium load. I'll do another video explaining that, but I had gotten a ton of sodium in me before me, and I think that helped out significantly. I was taking some salt tablets where I would take 2 every 30 minutes, and it was fine until it wasn't. So really what that tells me is I need to get better on my hydration game. I probably need to do one of those hydration tests where you basically take some of your sweat, you send it to a lab, and they let you know how much sodium per hour that you're going to lose. So that is one of the things I need to improve. My pace was too fast. That pace that I was putting is probably where I should be for the half marathon. I do think a sub 1.5 hour marathon is doable based on where I was at, and knowing that I ran the 1:31:26 while also having another half marathon to go tells me that I mentally have the strength to go sub 1:30. Probably not much lower than that though. That's probably where my fitness is at this current moment. This is the importance of focusing on the event that you're going to compete in. I'm training for High Rocks, as I said, and it showed with the marathon. So I think for the future, I would look to switch it up more to be more race specific. Now, this was a side quest for me, and you kind of got to live with it. So tempering your expectations is a big one. If you're not putting in the work that's specific to the race that you're having, you need to adjust your expectations. So I am very happy with the experience overall. I learned a ton, and I'm very happy. It was such a beautiful day. You can just see from the foot. I mean, look how long these crowds are. And I mean it is for miles. Out of the 26.2, this was probably 22 mile, 23, really, besides the bridges. And there's one other area in New York where there's not many crowds. But other than that, there are people there constantly. So 10 out of 10 recommend that you do this event. I hope this was helpful for you in how to break down a race. If you have any other races, I'll try to break down some. But yeah, either like or comment below if there's anything else that you want to see from me. All right, guys. See you later. Let's get it.